other thing is probably the most frustrating thing for all of us, because I don't think we consider ourselves one or the other. And I think it was well said, because I think we all feel that way. I think no matter what, things happen and things get then reacted upon. We saw with the reaction, police in front of our school now, websites shut down because the complete garbage that's being put through, the threats and fears. And this is like the worst case. This is what we've gotten to now. I look at, but just let's take for a second our phenomenal school system. And when I say system, I mean all the above. I look at the superintendent, the administration. I look at the teachers. I look at the PTO and what they do and the volunteerism that goes on and all the people involved. And we have, as a town, I think, as we knock and look at our prices on our value of our house, a lot of that has to do with what our school system is about and this great system that we've built. So I look back, and I always step back, maybe as a business person, but as a dad as well, and I look back and say, well, look, there's some indicators. And I always go back to this at the school. One of the lowest costs per pupil, one of the best returns per student. As a taxpayer, you can't get anything better than that, right? Then you have a second metric out there, a thing called, a survey by New Jersey Monthly. You put it the best school system in New Jersey. Whether you're first or 10th or 20th, you're right where you want to be. So it's indicator number 2. But I'll give you my own personal indicator. And again, I think and feel so strongly for the school system and all the people that are involved in it. But I've got 5 kids, I have 3 kids that have now gone through the system. They're in college, or just one graduate. I've got 2 still middle school and high school. And I know what they do every day, the decisions that they make, have always been for the best interest of my kids and the kids. And I know what they do is a phenomenal job turning out kids. I know my kids, and I'm sure Jerry and all of our kids that go to school, go off to college, are well prepared to go to college. And that's the benefit, and that's the effort that the school board, the administration, the teachers, the PTO, all the volunteer organizations, the Child Education Foundation, they have a major impact. In one swoop, all of a sudden the reputation of all those people was tarnished, and you don't get that back. So Mike D'Souza, I apologize for you and all your people. They have done a phenomenal job. And in one swoop, nationally, all of a sudden our school system, the people that run it are terrible people, and it must be in the town. So to me, that's just incredibly difficult. And words do matter, Len, and I think that says it best, because what's said and where it's said is just as important. It's one thing and how it's said. In fairness to Mike D'Souza and the administration, those different people were met with individually a number of times. At some point, we have the same thing at the council. You can come up here and state your case, but if it's the 15th time stating the same thing, at some point, we too will put our head down and say, okay, I hear you, but we're going to move forward. And I just think how that's been perceived nationally of what really went on, and everyone has the right to say something, but how you handle yourself is key. I'll go last topic because I think it's important. I think when you go back, and we're all involved with 9/11, and believe me, from losing some employees and other things, the one thing that came out is knowledge. The one thing that said, if I can understand this whole thing is get the knowledge, understand where people are coming from, understand the whole process, and part of that is knowledge. So this whole concept of understanding Islam and things like that, it's critical for our kids, for not just all key things, especially in today's world, critical they understand that. Knowledge is the best tool, and getting more and more knowledge about this topic is critical, and I think most people in this town feel very strongly that it is, and it's especially in light of where we've now been for the last 15, 16 years, and I'm sure things are hopefully going to change at some point, but I think it's critical. So I do apologize to the school system for just a great job they've done, and in one swoop they've been somewhat tarnished, and they shouldn't be. And I think we all feel as one that it's a great town. It doesn't sit on left or right or this side or the other side. We sit in as one unified group. So words matter, Len. I think that's the perfect phrase. So thank you.